What is going on, everyone? Astrologer Eric Rosen here for Viking Rising Astrology. This is your new moon in Sagittarius horoscope. Let's talk about it. But before I get into that, if you want to learn about what Pluto and Aquarius means for your sun and rising sign, click on that link down below. I'm doing a $14 special that goes into that. It'll be live Sunday night, but if you can't make it, you can catch the recording. And of course, as always, if you want to get an astrology reading with yours truly, you can click on that link down below. I had a little bit of a weird scheduling thing going on, little Mercury retrograde action that wasn't showing any times available for people. So if you checked in the past 3 or 4 days, you might have been like, I can't book nothing, dude, but there's openings now, so check that out. So new moon in Sag, just starting off with some basics. It's expansion energy, baby. It's like, we want to expand, we want to go far, but it squares Saturn in Pisces. So there's boundless energies that we can connect to, but are they all positive? Because Saturn will kick your ass if you get a little too far out there, if you get a little too cray-cray, if you start doing some spiritual bypassing, you're just thinking your life's going well and abundant, but it's not actually grounded or rooted in more of a focused sense of purpose. And so this is very much about, yes, the determination for a sense of purpose, but it's not something that you can force or fake, from your ego. This is more about how do you attune your frequency and do the embodiment of it so that you're totally vibrating at it, and that every consistent step along the way is just this natural evolutionary cycle where you're learning and growing and getting more and more experience as you move along. It's being Socratic, it's being philosophical, it's asking like big existential questions of self-inquiry, like connecting with things like angels and spirit guides to see how can you rise to the highest occasion possible. It's not being like, what should I eat today? Should I go to the gym today? It's like, use your energy on like the bigger stuff, because the truth is no one's going to feel their strongest with Mars that's going retrograde in Leo here in a few days. It's in its shadow. Chiron, North Node, and Aries. It's like, we still have to be able to take action. It's got to be courageous. We've got to move forward. We've got to stay on point. But it's definitely going to be difficult at times. This could bring up, wounded inner child energy. Like, I don't want to do nothing, or just like, why can't I just like, feel good or have my feet washed or something? It's like that. It's South Node in Libra, like where this new moon is making light aspects of those nodes, and also Mars and Leo. And so it's not about just like trying to create some plucky, happy harmony. It's like that comes later. That comes after the fruits of your labor are put in by rising to a higher occasion in life, rising to a higher timeline, a higher frequency, a higher, better belief system that you get by trusting your spiritual connection and being in integrity with it and going in that direction. Now, it's not all going to be understood. Like, there's still definitely restrictions. We have to like nurture those. Like, it is Pluto on the 60th gate in Aquarius, and it's Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And so it's not like this is like some like fast acceleration of like the physical reality piece of it. It's more so, how do you just like charge yourself up with so much like abundant, ferocious, fiery energy that you have a surplus, you have a commitment, you have a deeper why, you have something that is continuously, motivating you as a soul, and therefore then you're using your body to express that energy outward, and not like flipping it around and being like, well, I'm feeling out of balance or alignment, I'm not feeling good, I want to, do this, or I want to feel safer or more secure doing that. And it's like, the security is going to come more so from healing any past traumas, belief systems, anything that's still effing with your head, like blue pill matrix style. Or if you're on the fence about going even to the next level above the red pill and going, okay, you woke up, but like, how committed are you? Because this really brings that up of like, even when it's uncertain, uncharted territory, because I didn't even mention, Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. And so that's where it can get confusing, where it's like your mind's trying to understand the facts like first. It wants to like see how it's all going to go first and then go have the experience. It's like, no, sorry. Like, you've got to go have the actual experience. It's like, this is a social energy. You've got to be out in the world and know what your belief systems are that are positive, but also open and curious to where others are coming from. This is definitely not a time to, force like over just do it, like shadow warrior your opinion, or getting triggered or shutting down when someone shares an opinion that's contradictory to yours, or like they disagree with it, because then you're not receptive. You're closing off to the abundant, deeper understandings that can go on and help you grow. So, I will say this is not like comfortable growth, but for those of you that already know what it's like to go through, dark night of the soul journeys and stuff like that, and just discomfort, this is just no different. It's just, I think it's still good to have conversations with people about it, and it's going to show how masterful are you in knowing enough of who you are, what you're here to do and create, that you're willing to be vulnerable with people about what's going on with you, and if it makes them feel weird or whatever, because of that level of just honesty, because it's not fitting the glow up culture, of like, well, you're supposed to, be successful in this way, or you're supposed to be looking like this on social media. And it's like, well, if you are actually that, if it's like truly authentic and honest, because this is a good new moon to put that in check too, like factually, and going, wait, is the story that's being broadcast like really that? It's like, cool, well, what is it you're doing in your private life that's like helping you? Is it energetic hygiene? Like that's a big one for this new moon, where it's just like, there's so many frequencies that we can connect to that they could be very foreign. Some make you go up, some make you go down. Who's to say on what the judgment is of that? It's all neutral, but it's like, how do you stay buoyant, in those moments? And I think a lot of this does speak to that energetic hygiene piece, and studying up, learning, using the Sag energy to find out what Saturn tools are needed to keep your spiritual vibration high, if you're uncertain. It could start off with just the basics of, Louise Hay's work of dis-ease, if you're not feeling well, starts on the mind. So it's like, what is the story, the belief system, the thoughts that are, playing out? I'm like going to like pioneer energy of like Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, where it's just like, you have more of a grateful, optimistic sort of approach to life. There is something to say about keeping a positive, teacher, spiritual teacher, sort of energy, but it's like still like humble and like rooted in, still the bigger scope of things. It's like scope in on like what you're here to do, and like see the world and the challenges and the problems and, the restrictive parts of reality going on. It's like, don't just ignore the fact that there are, things that are happening to less fortunate, less abundant people in the world, that, that you can still pray for those people, or, love those people, or, like you could still bring a high vibration. That's what's nice about Sag. It's like you can bring a jovial belief and energy to things. And so it's really not so much about what some restrictive book or, religion is saying. I think this is a reality check for people that go, well, it says right here to be like this, or even like meme culture. It says, I read this thing, or I read that. It's like, okay, but did you apply it to your life? Like, go apply it to your life and then share your experience, and like, then let's talk. Because it's like, then it's in your frequency, it's in your aura, you're embodying it. And that is multidimensional medicine, because it's going to speak to people and, hit them on a level that's not just like who's just trying to be like the smartest person in the room to like have like some power, dynamic or something that's like hidden. This is all very much this new moon square Saturn. So other than that, I mean, just keep in mind that it is, it is Mercury retrograde, it is Saturn retrograde in Gemini. So it's like, I think factually things only check out whenever, we're logically making sure we're tuning to the highest frequency possible to like do something that feels purposeful, that feels embodied, and that's not forced, and that we're going to be better off, not using fear to go, well, no, that doesn't make sense. Logically, I can't go do that, and to ignore our intuition completely because we're afraid to play a bigger game. It's like, no, play a bigger game, and then like, follow the next like logical step based upon the highest timeline and frequency embodiment that your angels, that your guides are giving you, so that you don't self-sabotage. So I don't have my cards out, so no cards today, but if you want to get a reading or you want to get that Pluto and Aquarius special, those links will be down below. Hope everyone has a great new moon in Sagittarius, and I'll see you next time.